This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it. How to identify and avoid publishing predators. What opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms. How to avoid losing money and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by Author You and the Book Shepherd. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Well, welcome back to another edition of Author You, your guide to book publishing. In it, I will share ahas, insights, and tips to enhance and support your book publishing journey. And my goal is to always support you and your book success. If you're on Twitter, hey, how about connecting with me on @MyBookShepherd? And if on Facebook, join my book publishing group to share your news or just ask questions. So let's get started. Today, it's all about Instagram, as in part 2. Last week, we did a deep dive in with the fabulous Jules Marie, who is an expert in social media and just kind of whetted our appetite on all the amazing things, including how to get out of jail if you land in it on Instagram. So welcome back, Jules, and let's just do a quick recap of what we did last week.
Great. Hi, Judith. Thanks for having me again. I'm always excited to talk about Instagram.
Well, I got excited when you talked about Instagram. I was all over it thinking, oh, no, have to do this. And I was telling my my private coaching group, I said, oh, I found a great new tool. So we'll kiss on that one, too. And it wasn't Instagram. It was one of the tools you showed us about. So,
right.
Yeah. So in reviewing it, we talked about how it was hot and fun, and there were a lot of creative tools, and that it was essential. You got to use images. And what's embedded in my head, Jules, is they better be square. I think you said it's like a 3x3 grid. We start laying out, and you talk about stories and how to do that. And then you got into filters and colors and the gazillion hashtags that one could use. And then you got into tagging. I think we should come back and kissing that, what that's about, and about the engagement. And, of course, what happens when you land in Instagram jail. So I'm going to now flip it back to you.
Okay, thank you. That was a great recap. I want to say this. I want to preface this whole talk today with saying that Instagram is a lot of fun to use. It's also, in my opinion, a little more work to use than some of the other social platforms. Instagram offers so many creative tools, right? They offer them because they want you to be in some part of Instagram when your people are there. So they offer posting, they offer videos, they offer highlights and stories and reels and TV. And so we'll talk about that today. But this is where, if you are really serious about using Instagram, you have to experiment a lot. You have to really learn how to use these tools, because otherwise you're just going to be putting a post up on Instagram, which is similar to what you might be doing on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So they offer these tools often as kind of an answer to what other platforms are doing. So TikTok got really popular, right? It's like blown up in popularity. And so they come back and they offer Instagram Reels, which are short videos that allow you to have just short content, movement, video, and then add music to it, up to 15 seconds. So that's very similar to what TikTok does. So it seems to me that Instagram has taken the best tools from all the apps and have rolled them all into one. So so again, though it's fun to use, it's work. So if you're going to use Instagram, you need to decide that you're going to spend time on it, rather than just writing a post and walking away and coming back a week later and writing another post. That is not going to help with your engagement.
You know what you say?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I just want to kiss on what you just said about TikTok, because in a discussion with one of my author groups, that when we looked at the majority of what our ages were, what our readers were, in that they really weren't the younger TikTok crowd, but with coming into Instagram, to be able to make a short video without maybe some of the gyrations that some of them do on TikTok might be the perfect. I'm just saying, Jules, might be the perfect blend to just get a little action on it and
I
make
agree.
it work.
I work with a variety of clients, including some authors, and I don't have anybody using TikTok. And it's not necessarily because of the age. Maybe their book appeals to a younger demographic, but it's more that they don't want to spend time creating the videos. This is what I'm saying about Instagram. If you're going to do an Instagram Reel or Instagram TV, you have to have the content first, right? So Instagram TV, we'll come back again. We'll talk a little more, deeply about it, but they allow 10 minutes. Do you have 10-minute videos? A lot of people don't, and they don't want to spend the money to create a long video. So I think the Reels and TikTok are the answer to those short form videos. But I don't see conversions right now, meaning is somebody watching a TikTok video and, spending money because they just watched it? No, because the majority of those videos, they're still individuals. They're really funny. There's not a lot of branded content on there, so not a lot of sponsored ads. So I just don't see it right now. Not right. This will change, but giving my clients the bang for their buck in terms of investing all this time in it. What are you going to get out of it? Determining your ROI, your return on investment, on something like Instagram or on something like TikTok is hard to determine, whereas Instagram gives you all kinds of insights on how well your videos are doing, how long somebody watched your video, what kind of engagement that you got on it. So they just give you so much information to help you pivot your marketing strategy. So again, you have to be committed to spending time on Instagram. Judith said, something about let's touch on engagement. This is the same for all platforms. You've got to comment on other people's posts. You have to find people to follow. You should occasionally repost something someone else has written on Instagram that'll look ideal on your news feed, right? You've carefully curated your news feed on Instagram, and occasionally there are some perfect posts out there which, if you repost, will add more value to your news feed, because instead of it all being your content, you're bringing in content from others. This is how you can begin to influence people, because you're not making your grid all about you. You're bringing in additional information for people to view and get to know you more.
I wonder, one of the things that I toyed with and I have played with over the years, and I'm going to get back and work more because they keep upgrading. And I was one of the old timers in it, was Animoto. And I'm wondering if some of the shots that you could do very quickly on Animoto, even on the free side, that would be like 10 slides, 10 seconds, could be turned into that reel you're talking about. What do you think?
I think that's an excellent idea.
Oh,
there
good.
are a lot of videos. No, I love that idea. And also, I don't know what their editing features are, but I love creating videos, but I'm not a great editor. So I try to get it right the first time, but sometimes I watch videos. I can see where they're cutting it. I can see where maybe they moved their hair out of their face or done something. I mean, you can just tell those cuts, and I'm not a great video editor. So that's a place I hope to. I actually just today thought I'm going to take a class on this.
Well,
so I can get smarter. So
you know what? I'm with you. I'm not an editor, and that is not my forte at all. But I know with the for all of you, when I say Animoto, it's Animoto. That the Animoto portal is really you combine slides with text, and you can put text on slides, and then they merge them all together, and you can make them do very fun things, from flipping, from swirling to merging, from colors come in. There's some very cool tools on that site. So instead, I'm going to suggest this: instead of going for a PhD in editing on movies, this might be your cup of tea to get
we
an
have
op-
to we
to
have
say.
to we have to admit what we don't know, okay? And that's
Absolutely.
just not a skill for me. But I did just open it up on the computer, and I see it here with some of their options. You can get started for free. I always like that option because
I love
it
free.
gives you a chance to it gives you a chance to figure out if it's something you want to use. But one of the things you just said, Judith, is it sounds like they offer some animation in addition to the video. So I love the animation. That is a huge tool that Instagram has. So you can add movement or kind of that boomerang effect onto some of your photos or your reels. So it sounds like that might be something that Animoto helps you create. The point is you've got to have this content before you decide to click and add an Instagram reel, or click and add Instagram TV.
Okay.
You've got to have content.
All right. So I'm going to play the ding dong for everyone, because we are now. I threw in, a hot potato with Animoto, which I think is kind of a cool potato. But you've mentioned Instagram TV and Instagram Reels. What's the difference between the two?
Okay, I want to go backwards a second, because I want to say this other point about Instagram, and then we'll talk about those specific pieces to Instagram. Instagram was originally started and when it originally started, it could only be used on the phone. It's a mobile-friendly platform. 100% of the tools, the creator tools, are available on the phone. Okay, that's another reason why people don't want to use it. They're like, oh, I don't want to spend any more time on my phone. I don't want to deal with this. So about a year and a half ago, Instagram is owned by Facebook, and they came up with a way for us to be able to use our computer to post to Instagram. And that is available to everybody who has a Facebook page, and it's called Facebook Creator Studio. So when you use Facebook Creator Studio, which you will find on your business dashboard under publishing tools, it has a link right there for you to post to Instagram. So what I like about that is if I open up the Instagram tool and I want to create a post, it allows me to post to the Instagram feed or to Instagram TV. So for a lot of us that have our videos saved on our computer and not on our phone, Facebook Creator Studio will allow us to bring those videos right in on our computer. So that has taken away some of the mystery around having to use the phone exclusively for Instagram. It opens up a whole new way for you to be able to post to Instagram and also get a snapshot of your insights of how your page is doing as soon as you log in to Facebook Creator Studio. It's a fabulous tool that I would just encourage everybody to look at from your Facebook business profile. To talk about some of these other features, we aren't going to be able to use Creator Studio. Like if we're doing Reels, we have to do it exclusively from the phone.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do, because we're going to take our first break here. So first of all, I think that what we should do is just give a short definition of what a reel is when we come back. And then you've got the TV side, because I know I can see through cyberspace, eyes glazing. I see it. And so we want to bring it back. So we'll be right back. Jules Marie is our guest today. We're talking about the power and the presence of what you can do with Instagram.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Is there a book in you? Or another? Author U shows you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, you will find a supportive and brainstorming community that is connected and creative, no matter where you live. Author U brings in national experts for its book camps and annual Author U extravaganza. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through Author U's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. Author U is the premier authoring resource in the country, creating community, education, guidance, vision, and success for the serious author. If you want to create a book that has pizzazz, punch, and panache, Author U is for you. Timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted on its social media platforms, and it is free. Discover Author U, where authors go to become seriously successful. Join Author U today at authoru.org. Are you confused about publishing options? Do you know which printing option is best for your book? Does your stomach flip when you think about selling books? Or do you feel overwhelmed with what to do about book marketing and publicity? Get the answers and much more. Get them and from someone who knows publishing inside and out from both the traditional and independent sides how to make a successful book. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand and platform, and is a success, a bestseller. It is your choice. You choose. If you want author and publishing success, you want Judith Briles as your book coach. Sign up for her weekly blogs and e-zine at thebookshepherd.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, everyone, settle down because this is a whole new world for a lot of you. And I have to admit that I poo-pooed, confession, hands up, eyes ceased, that I poo-pooed Instagram thinking, oh my God, another portal to use. Do I need another thing on my plate? And I know, Jules, a lot of people feel that way. But what I'm seeing with not only the growth of Instagram, but the energy around it and the enhancements that are coming along, that for authors, which is certainly who we're talking to right now, that authors, this is a tool that they can use to create engagement, to building fans and hopefully turning them into super fans, that anything that you come out with, they will just tap dance and click over and buy it, which I think would be very cool. So Jules, before we went into the break, I mentioned the eyes glazing over factor, that between what exactly is a reel and how does that differ from TV? Do you run it on the Instagram TV or is it a totally separate animal? Can you help us out?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So if you open Instagram on your phone, on your mobile device, you see the plus, right? And that's the plus button for the camera that'll open up your photos so that you can post something to the feed, to the news feed, just as if you were posting on Facebook or Twitter. So and you'll see on that plus that you can either post to your story, to your feed, or to Reels. So all of those options appear when you click the plus, okay? So here's what's cool about Reels. They're short. They disappear after 24 hours, and they are basically a 15 to 30 second video clip that offers music, special effects, which we call the creative tools, and the same kinds of stickers and polls and contests that you could offer right on an Instagram post. But the difference here is it's all based on video. It can only be 15 to 30 seconds, and the video disappears after 24 hours. So it's really fun. It also takes time to create the reels. You can choose whether you want it to go fast, like 15 seconds is a short video. So Instagram Reels allows you to choose a speed. 1x is normal speed. So if you click 3x, it's like fast forwarding a video. So now maybe you can get a minute's worth of content into a 15-second video, right? And then they let you add that animation, those effects we talked about. Let you add stickers and put text on it if you want. So Instagram Reels brings together many of the features available in their tools all in one. And again, the point I'm making is you're going to put work. It's going to take you probably 10 minutes at least to create a reel, and it's going to be gone in 24 hours. So this is, again, where you have to be committed to creating these moving videos. Anything that moves has a higher engagement rate than a static photo or just static content. So Reels can really help you get noticed more than a basic post. Does that help explain it a little?
Yeah, it does. So it is, let's say that your goal, an author's goal, is to get attention, to maybe start building some influence, to start building their crowd, maybe followers, etc. Would it make sense? You said, how many minutes does it take to do a reel?
There's so many different clicks. It also allows you to add multiple videos together. It's called kind of stitching them together. And so because of all the tap, tap, tap here, tap there, tap to this effect, tap that speed, that takes me at least 10 minutes to get through creating that reel.
Okay, so let's give Jules a credit thing here, everybody, because she's done this before. So let's say we're newbies at this. And so I'm going to say 20 minutes. All right, let's say that you want to, I'm going to double the need to put it together before we get proficient. That let's say the goal is to really build your followers, to attract more attention, because I agree, if things are wiggling around and moving, you'll snag people, the eye catching. That would it make sense as a strategy to say, okay, over the next 30 days, I'm going to dedicate 20 minutes to creating my presence and building followers on Instagram. Would that be a social media strategy?
If you're only using Instagram, 20 minutes isn't quite enough time because you've got to engage, you've got to go follow your people, you have to create your posts. I don't think it's really enough time. I think 30 minutes is more realistic on Instagram because that also gives you time to create those reels or stories. You know, we'll talk about stories in a minute, but it takes time.
Okay, so let's say 30 minutes. So would it make sense to do a 30-minute commitment over 30 days? So 30 and 30. We're going to do 30 and 30. And to go out and really test it out to see if you can build your followers and all that. And I think you also just said something that was really important. You need to you want to follow back your followers. Is that correct?
You don't want to follow everybody back, but when I check my notifications, like today I checked and I saw, somebody was in the same world as my client and I thought their information would be interesting. So I did follow them back, but it isn't required. You know, it's because that's whose content you're going to see in your news feed. So, I tend to follow people who really are part of my world. And let me say this about authors. Let me give you an actual example of how an author could use the reel. Let's say they're sitting at their workspace. They've got their book and all their notes out. They're working on edits. They've got some hard copies on their desk. Maybe they have an image of the book there. So now they're going to just take their phone and they're going to do a short video and they can talk oh, here's a copy of my book cover. Oh, I just love it. Isn't it just so beautiful? It was designed by so-and-so, right? And then they might move over here and they're like, oh, I'm working on chapter 7. It's exciting. It's about such and such. So give us a little teaser of what's in that book, right? You're building your platform by doing this. And then you might move over here and there's a photo of your cat resting by your computer or your dog sleeping by your feet. And this is part of your process for creating your book. So now you have 3 short 5-second videos, and you can click them all and bring them into Instagram Reels. Now, why it takes time is because those are 3 5-second videos. You have to, when you bring in those videos, this is what I'm saying, you have to choose the speed, the effects, the timer, if you want to put music on it. So you have to do that 3 times because you're bringing in 3 videos. So I hope that helps you understand why the Reels take a little more time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how an author could create something that shows someone what it is that they're doing. If they've already written a book, they can come back and, they can do videos of the book that they've written. This is what's inspired. Maybe they're working on a trilogy and they're talking about this first book inspired my second book. I never knew I was going to write one. So this is important because these kind of videos that we put into Reels, they help people get to know us. We want to create our personality online, and if we're always just throwing a photo up there, it's sometimes it can be too salesy. So I like this personal involvement that we get by having Reels, by having stories, which I think we should talk about next because there's some similarities with stories to Reels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So also Reels, they're, like I'm saying, they're more expressive. If you're going to use IGTV, for instance, you're probably going to load a 10-minute educational video, something about, it's long-form content. Reels is designed to be short, engaging, clever, present moments. It's just all about right now. And that's why it disappears in 24 hours.
Okay, so they're about the present in the moment. All right, and then if you're doing these now, are you using the camera, for example, on your phone, your mobile, or on your computer as you do this, or do you have to get fancy dancy?
No, both of those options are perfect, Judith. Most of us have a webcam, or some of us have bought an external webcam. That's what I did to get a really good view when I'm on Zoom or a call. Definitely create a video just sitting right at your desk with your webcam running that you could easily do 15 seconds right there with just one video.
Mm-hmm.
Using your phone allows you to see the timer on it, and you can cut it at 5 seconds or 4 seconds. So if I have all this laid out on my desk, right, my webcam's not going to work. So that's when I'm going to come in and I'm going to use either a handheld camera with a memory card, or I'm just going to use my phone to take these photos or videos. Those are great options.
And then your phone, but can't you upload it from your computer the same way you upload it from your phone?
Yeah, so if you are going to use your webcam, yes, you would have to send that to your phone because you can't use Instagram Reels on the computer, at least not yet. You have to do your Reels work from the phone.
Got it. Okay, so Reels are on the phone, everybody. So that's where you want to be your creative self. 15 seconds, by the way, goes very fast.
15 to 30 seconds. 15 to 30. Most people try for 15 because, again, one 30-second clip's a lot easier to really massage, to create, to add those effects and put the timer on and add the music. But if you're stitching together a bunch of small videos, that's what's going to take more time. So decide, do I have a lot of small clips I want to use? Initially, people getting experience with Reels are going to do one clip that's minimum 15 seconds up to 30. They're just going to try that. And let me say this, it's not fancy. The thing is, when you go to Instagram Reels, just watch the Reels. You will laugh. You will laugh, definitely laugh a few times, even in a few minutes, because they are so funny. They're more amateurish than professional. So even though you're a professional, you don't need to go spend money on a video showing people what your workspace workspace or your work processes. Right.
Exactly.
You just have to make it fun.
Okay, so
make it fun.
let's hold. I like fun. Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back and have more fun the Instagram way with Jules Marie.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Discover the power of you and your book at the Judith Briles Unplugged events. Each summer, Judith Briles Book Marketing Unplugged unfolds over 3 intensive days working with just Judith. You get publishing strategies, author and book platforms, book marketing panache and pizzazz, and authoring tools to take you and your book to rock star success. In the fall and winter, Judith Briles Speaking Unplugged includes Judith as your coach and mentor during 2 powerful days. You will learn how to structure a speech, how to create openings and closings, how to find gigs that pay you and sell your books, and you will get one-on-one coaching. Go to thebookshepherd.com and click on the Events tab to learn how to participate at the next Unplugged Workshop event.
Congratulations on getting your book published. The effort you put into your work is truly commendable. But what's next? What will happen to all the knowledge you have worked so hard to acquire to produce your book? Here at TogiNet Radio, we can provide you a platform to keep your knowledge working for you through the power of podcast. The subjects our podcasts cover are as varied as the grains of sand on a beach. From life coaching to military resources to business success, even to the paranormal. We have a place for everyone. To get started on your next step, call Scott at 903-787-5880 or email him at scott@toginetradio.com. That's SCOTT at TOGINETRADIO.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right. I'm intrigued. I have to tell everyone, I am intrigued. I am going to go up on Instagram and I am going to watch, you can go to the Google and put Instagram Reels, people, so you can see what she's talking about. I love the idea of casualness. I love the idea that you don't have to have a bunch of bells and whistles. And that you could go in, like I have Jules and I were talking on last week's episode, like I was sharing that one of my favorite pencils is the Black Wing 602. I love this pencil. I write, I take all my notes on it. It just glides, it's smooth. That would be such a fun quickie reel to do. To just, to just show literally, it's almost like a graphic artist. You could do some stuff on it, but it just, as a writer, and all of you are writers listening in, that it's just for me, it's the cat's meow, and I don't know why it took me so long to discover it, but that would be a fun thing to do. And then when it goes up, but Jules has taught me, all right, now we're going to hashtag it and tag it to death. Right?
Yeah, right. Well, maybe not to death, but definitely, yes, we talked about, there's so much content out on Insta, on all platforms, but on Insta, it's critical to use hashtags. Usually a minimum of 8 up to 30 can be used. So that's how people who don't know you or who aren't your followers will find your posts. And if you have a great reel that's getting a lot of attention, Instagram serves it up to more people. That means they open up the algorithm. Your reel could be featured. It could be a featured reel if more people see it. I mean, you'll watch a 15-second reel, and maybe 17,000 people have watched it. It's just fascinating to me, the amount of impressions that these reels gain. Again, do they convert? That's what Judith is saying, 30 days, 30 minutes. Let's test it and see if it works. Definitely a good idea.
Yeah. I like the idea, and I think I'm going to, start thinking about it. Now we have, we're in April is a 30-day month. June is a 30-day month. Pick one. Of course, the only one we avoid for 30 days is February, but that you could pick a month and just say, this is what I can do. But here's what I'm also saying. I don't think you have to do some heavy duty planning here. It could be spur of the moment. I was sharing something with my my social media unplugged group that I did last month, and I had written a blog about triggers. So what's a trigger? And I heard a word, mistakes, Jules, the word mistakes, and in the background, I'm an old Neil Diamond fan, and it was, I was solo in my office that day, so I was listening to I had Neil Diamond, and it was Song Blue. All right, so that was playing. All right, I created, oh God, I'm going to use the word 30 again. I created 10 blogs, 10 posters very quickly with the word mistakes and Song Blue in them. Very quickly. Now I have book posters I make for inspiration and that. And then I also have a series called, we have the dog series and we have the cat series. And I could take those same words, put them on a new poster with a pooch impression and with a kitty cat impression. 10 times 3 is, it's our magic number, Jules, 30. I came up with but that was that trigger word that came up, and I could take now here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to take, I'm so excited, Jules. I'm pounding my table. I can take those words and create 30 fast clips of reels go through those. So how fun is that?
Yes. Also, let's talk about stories, because here's the difference between stories and reels. If you load those to stories, you can also do what are called, let's just say what stories are. Stories are also, they're short, they're engaging, they're all about now, They're 15 seconds. That's it, 15 to the max. The average viewer watches 40 to 65% of a story. They also vanish in 24 hours. So very similar to reels, and all of those cool creative effects that you can add, like animation or sparkles or stickers or any of that, they're all there. You can use all of those in stories. The other thing you can do, and this is important for authors, is this is where you can create an ad. So you can't have an ad in reels, but you can have an ad in stories. So if you're looking at Instagram, here's how you'll know it's a story ad. At the very bottom, there'll be an arrow, and it'll say swipe up. That shows it's a sponsored story, And sometimes when you're watching it, the person, you're watching someone's face, and they'll just take their hand and point down to the bottom of their post and say, be sure to swipe up, right? That is how you'll know that it's a story ad. Yes, you pay for them. But that's one of the ways that we do see more conversions. We see, they're talking about this book that they have, and here's what it's about, and they're including a link here. So when they swipe up, it's going to take them someplace, maybe someplace on the website. But this is where, you have to spend a little bit of money, because now you're getting people to engage and be taken away from Instagram to be able to get to the website and potentially buy your book or sign up for your blog or whatever it is that your post is that you're promoting. So that's a value. That's a high value.
All right, you got my attention again. It's good when I
Mm-hmm.
pay attention, Jules. All right, so all right, so we're in the story thing. We're moving along. We're hot. We're moving. We've got ideas. We're showing stuff, and then we got that little arrow that goes up, and let's say it links over to your Amazon page. Now they can go buy the book.
Okay.
Give them storyline, or maybe you put together this really nifty little animoto, with very wonderful quotes, or you just did it yourself. Forget it. Add it in, links it. There's your story. What's that cost? How do we tell what the range of that cost would be?
Well, when you're creating the ad, for anyone who's created a Facebook ad, it's similar in Instagram. They're going to give you options for your budget. How long do you want to run it? How much do you want to spend every day? If you're only going to spend a few dollars and run it for a couple of days, you won't get a lot of traction, right? But maybe you just want people to see it. You just want more people to see it. You're working on building your following, right? So any ad takes, just like I'm saying about Reels, it takes time to create. All of your ads are going to be created from your phone. Again, this isn't something that you can do from Facebook Creator Studio. You have to do it on your phone.
Okay.
So that's how you're going to find conversions. And what Instagram offers are insights. So when you're on your phone, you also can find insights through Facebook Creator Studio, but your phone drills way down deep into exactly what's happening. What kind of success your hashtags had, how many impressions were on those photos, how many people watched your story, how long they watched it. Let's say it's a 15-second video and everybody, people tapped on it, but then in 2 seconds they were gone. Well, that wasn't effective. Not if everybody's looking and checking out on you, right? But if you've got the majority of people watching that 15-second video, that's a successful campaign for you, right? So we want to look at those insights and say, oh my gosh, this is like the best I've ever done. This is the best promotion ever. And so go ahead and run something like that again next week, something similar, not the same thing. But now this is how you begin to test your content. What is working for you? Is it better for you to do stories? Or is it better for you to just post videos on your news feed? There's a lot of testing and experimenting that goes into using Instagram. I'm laughing because it takes work, Where are you going to focus your efforts on Instagram? What they want you to do is focus it everywhere. They say, this is what Instagram says your strategy should be. Post a video in the morning, post a story at lunch, post a reel at night. They're trying to get you to use all of their features because they want you to be on their platform when your people are on it. So some are on in the morning, some are on in the afternoon, maybe some are on, we all kind of fall apart at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? That is actually a very big time for engagement on all social platforms. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that time when you get sleepy and you just start wasting time. That's when social media picks up. Might want to do something at night. Maybe you're going to have longer, you're going to use IGTV at night because maybe at 7 o'clock at night, somebody is willing to watch something longer than they are at 11 o'clock in the morning when they're sitting at their desk. Are they going to use work time to watch a 10-minute video? So this is where you decide, where am I going to put my content? Which of my long form, short form, still photos or moving videos, where am I going to spend my time? This is where strategy is so critical for using on Instagram.
I used to, in the old days, I loved the soda Dr. Pepper. I don't drink it anymore, but I stopped drinking all sodas, but I love Dr. Pepper. And on the top, if you ever got a bottle of it, the bottle cap had the numbers 10, 2, and 4. And all they were about was, those are the down times during your day. Those are when you need a pepper upper. And it was 10, 2, and 4.
You need a pepper upper. Oh, that's a Judithism right there.
That just kind of rolled out of my mouth. So, but I do have a question, and I'll answer it when we come back, because I'm confused that if these only last 24 hours and then we're going to put up an ad, the ad's only going to be for 24 hours. So just hold on that, Jules, because I could have that
Okay.
screwed up, and you can come back and
Okay.
do a redirect. We'll be right back. With me is Jules Marie, and we're talking about the power, pop, and panache of Instagram.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide.
The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and guide to collaborate with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You do not need more problems. You want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and chaos. At times, she has had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher, by a publishing service provider, and sometimes even by the author. If you want author and book success, connect with her today at thebookshepherd.com.
It's the Fitness Minute with fitness expert Annette Hammond.
Men's Health magazine touts the benefits of working out on the treadmill. Did you know that running on the treadmill instead of on roads reduces your chances of a stress fracture by at least 48%? They state that men who exercise for 30 minutes on the treadmill boosted their levels of an antidepressant by 77%. Harvard researchers found that running for an hour or more per week reduces your chance of coronary heart disease by 42%. The benefits of exercising on a treadmill are manifold. Since some people have an aversion to using the treadmill, they recommend that you tape these health findings to the treadmill's control panel so that they will be front and center when you're exercising, which will give you extra motivation. I'm Annette Hammond. If you're a fan of Fitness Minute, like us on Facebook at Fitness Minute with Annette Hammond.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, so now I did a reveal that I used to love Dr. Pepper. And what the 10, 2, and 4 was all about, because you needed to have a pepper upper during the time. Jules did the reveal that 3 o'clock is kind of the sweet spot in the day afternoon. So guess what? That's between 2 and 4. So with that said, here's my question. On the stories, I understand that they have a life of 24 hours. I get that the arrow goes up, and that means that there's a sponsoring and an ad. So if the story is only going to last 24 hours, why would my ad go more than 24 hours, Jules?
Because Instagram stories can live in highlights. Highlights are another creative tool that Instagram offers. When you look at your Instagram page, the highlights are little circles. They're like bubbles that run across the top of your page, and that's where your stories can live. So people can actually see a story ad longer. And again, it does depend. It depends on when. Let me just think. It depends on how much money you're spending. And I think you asked me about that. The average cost per impression is rarely more than $1. So for the ad itself, it'll display for 24 hours, but then it'll go into highlights, which is something else that we're going to be talking about. So the other thing is that I don't think you have to spend a lot of money on the Instagram ads. I tend probably to spend a little bit more if I'm showing ads on Facebook, but you don't really have to spend that much. So just kind of vary where you want to put your budget. If you're focused, say you're doing that 30 for 30 that Judith suggested, just run your ad as an Instagram story to test how it does for you. And you should be fairly successful with it. Everyone I've run an ad for that way, we've gotten more conversions that way than we've ever gotten from our newsfeed posts. So you really have to shake up these different creative tools that they offer.
All right, but here's what I am still trying to nail it down. So you're saying it's $1 a click or $1 a conversion?
Conversion. It's about 50 cents to $1 per conversion. That's cheap. Google Ads might cost you $20 per conversion, or maybe $1, because you're bidding on keywords there. But here it's based on your content. If you've been getting good engagement with your news feed, with your videos, with whatever you're using, then it's pretty likely that your story ad is also going to get, is also going to get high engagement. So to me, it's worth spending the time creating it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's always worth a test. But I'm thinking that, and I know what the Amazon ads are. I can figure that out really quick. But if we're talking about a conversion, it's not really a buy; it's a click through. Is that correct? It doesn't mean.
But since it has the swipe up on the bottom, it'll take you to whatever it is that you're trying to sell. Whereas your basic posts aren't going to do that. So the ad is targeted towards a purchase of some kind.
All right. So if we're talking about our book, we're probably sending them to Amazon or to our website to buy it. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So then it gets over there, and then it's a matter of whether or not they say, "Yeah, I'm going to grab this thing."
Right. Now let me say this: if you do not want to advertise, right? You don't want to spend any money.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. There's another feature that Instagram offers called Link in Bio.
Linked
so
in
when you look at it,
okay.
Link, I'm saying it slow because it's actually all mashed up. Link in Bio.
Okay.
It's offered by a company called Linktree, LINKTREE.com. So when you open up Instagram and you're looking at someone's profile, you might see in their profile, they don't have a website. Instagram does not allow you to put your website address in your posts, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a way that, I just got a little distracted because there's so many things that I want to say.
We're into Linktree. I'm all jazzed. What is this?
So when you have link in bio, it's in your profile. So if you click that, it opens up not your website, but a page of links that your viewers can click on. So one link might take them to a blog, one might take them to a Amazon page, one might take them to Barnes and Noble, one might take them. There's just so link in bio is Instagram's answer to not letting you put your own website address in your post. So sometimes you'll also see when somebody's creating an Instagram story, they might say, "See my link in bio."
Got it.
And that is when you'll go, and you just click their business name. It takes you back to the profile. There's the link in bio. So I can click that and boom, it'll open up a page for me to register for a reading that they're doing, or a book signing they're doing, or a Zoom class that they're offering. So link in bio is a free tool that is a little like adding a miniature website right to your Instagram profile, and it's free. It's free as the basic service is free. The pro version is $6. If you have a big company, there's an enterprise version. So link in bio is an important free tool to use that will help people get to your links easier.
So let me ask you this: if it's free to the pro, I'm really intrigued with this. So that if it's free to pro, that does it describe what the link is to? So if someone's going there, so they know what they're going. That's my blog, Amazon page. You can tell what it is. Love it. So
and actually, when it opens, it looks like a menu. It's all in black and white, though. I mean, it isn't
It's
a
okay.
beautiful, colorful website or anything, but it's like a menu of services. Now they can pick from all these different things, which are basically going to be links that take them to your website or your sales page, something like that, just
No,
in a cleaner, crisper format.
And then what you could do is, since you can make that as always an add-on to any story you're doing, to push it up. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I like that. All right. So why would I, if it does all this, why would I want to pay for it? I mean, what does the
Well,
pro have?
I'm a small business owner. I try not to pay for
I
all
know.
of these tools that we add, because then there goes any money I make, right? And so I look for the free version and I test it first. And I'm fine with the free version of LinkedIn Profile. I don't feel that, like, I use Canva. I don't use the pro version. It doesn't cost that much, but I just don't need it. It helps me. I've used it in the past. It helps me organize a little more in my Canva graphics, but it's a free tool. I don't feel like I need to spend money on it. I use Facebook Creator Studio because it's free. It's given to me. It's so much easier to use these tools, and you get a sense of if they work for you. I know a lot of people just say, let's just pay for it. Why? Don't pay for it if it isn't something that you're going to be using constantly. So tools like that, to me, I'm just really careful. I'm careful about using. And speaking of paying for something, I want to kind of backstep a few paces here. When I said it's casual to use Instagram, like these videos are more amateur than professional, the difference here too is, remember with YouTube, I find YouTube videos businesses do are a lot more professional. So that's where you might go put something that you paid for or you put a lot of work into. There's a lot that, goes into creating either Vimeo or YouTube or a video like that. But Instagram offers all of these tools in a more amateur way. Of course, you're going to see professional videos on there. There are companies using Instagram with massive budgets compared to my small budget, right? So I still want to use these tools, and I want to be creative, and I want to show up where people are. And the best way for me to win over these big brands is to be authentic and to post consistently and to engage with other people and to have content that's meaningful to people so that they connect with me. They share, they're like, hey, there's this, you should connect with this social media manager, right? They're going to create that relationship with me. So Instagram, yes, it's confusing because they offer so many tools.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you have to decide what you want to get good at using. Maybe you just want to focus on stories. Maybe you want to get really good at stories and move into ads. You have to choose.
You know what? I think that's one of the best advice that we can give all of them. Get good at one component so you understand it, you're comfortable, you'll pick up your speed in executing it. That's for sure. And doing that. Jules, I hate to say this, we have like 3 minutes left. So what can we do and wrap up and put this together and send them on their way?
I know you know what I'm going to say. One word: engage.
Yep. Engage.
Yep. You have to, on all platforms, you are not going to succeed if you just put up a post, close Instagram, and walk away, or Facebook, or Twitter, or any of that. You have to go and comment on other people's posts. You have to share other people's. You don't have to, but this is what helps create that engagement, that relationship between people. This is what drives the algorithm. If you do nothing, your engagement rate's going to be a couple percent. But if you comment on someone's post and they comment on yours and you reply to them and you start a conversation with them, the more engagement these social profiles see on a post, the more that algorithm opens up and more people will see what it is that you're writing about. So use that post you wrote. Don't just close Instagram. Go out there and comment. Make it so that more people will see what you're doing, what you're saying, what matters to you. And the only way that's going to happen is by engaging with other people. So in addition to posting consistently, engaging with fans and followers is what is going to bring you conversions.
And that would be kind of almost an amen. I mean, it is what it's about. So you need to go back and pay attention. If you're not going to do it, I'm going to tell you, you need to hire someone who will do it for you. Because you're going to be wasting a lot of time. And that actually is one of the things that Jules Marie does. So I want to, if your permission, may I give your website, Jules?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks.
So you can find Jules Marie at 33words.us. That's the website, 33words.us. There's a lot of information. There's a lot that goes on in this process to build up. I'm one of those conversions that there was no way I ever was going to do social media, and now I tap dance around it. I do get help. I will tell you, I get help. I have someone who helps me promote, push out, post, do those things because I can't do it all. I can't do it all. You can't do it all too. So figure out what you can do, what you want to do, what you love to do, and what you don't want to do. That's always a criteria for me, Jules. And the things
right.
the things I don't want to do is where I get help if I feel that I should be doing that. All right, everyone, that's kind of a primer that we've done on this week and last week on Instagram. It's a platform I think that's here to stay for a long time. It's digging its roots in. It's fun, and I think that what we should be doing is doing what the kids do, the young people. They just get in and start playing around. They just start playing around, start doing it, knowing it's not going to be perfect, but that is the way you learn on that. And there's certainly, Jules, do you have some any videos up on your website on some of this?
Not currently. My website is going through a redesign right now.
Oh, mine too. All right. Well, okay. This is the year of morphing, 2021. All right, Jules Marie, thank you so much for being with us. Again, her website is 33words.us. I'm Judith Briles, your host, and I just want to thank you for sharing your time with both Jules and I today on Author You, Your Guide to Book Publishing. Do go to the show page at bit.ly/book publishing podcast to select from over 300 other podcasts to learn and engage and to get better at what you do. And don't forget, connect with me on Twitter at MyBookShepherd. Have a great day.
Hey, Judith.
Yes, sir.
For some reason, you were breaking up at the very end there, like the last 3 or 4 sentences. If you want to redo that real quick, I'll just cut it together.
Do you want me to do the close?
Yeah, just to close again.
Got it. Here we go. Okay. Thank you for sharing your time with Jules and me today on the Author You, Your Guide to Book Publishing podcast. Do go to our show page at bit.ly/book publishing podcast to select from over 300 different podcast episodes to learn and to listen to. Do connect with me on Twitter via @MyBookShepherd, and have a great publishing day. We'll be with you next week.
Thank you for being a part of Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. Each week, a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take you, the author, to the next level. You'll learn tips and secrets on how to create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve book publishing success by making one very simple change in your book's journey. How to avoid the publishing predators. How to create an author and book platform that rocks. Learn how to make a living with your words and your books. Learn how to publish a book that has no regrets, and so much more. For more information, check out authoru.org, where authors who want to be seriously successful go. And Judith's website, thebookshepherd.com. Then join us again here next week for more. It's Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles.